I crawl under the shrubs and bushes and trees that someone else planted in my yard years ago. I crawl under them and look at the base. I try to find the trunk and see what it used to be and what it's supposed to be. They're completely overgrown. They're green on the outside. They look good to me, but when I pull the branches back and look inside, it looks like a fairy tale in there, like a haunted forest. Dark and dead and deep. It looks like a wall of thorns surrounding Sleeping Beauty's castle, and I'm the prince that has to dig through. It looks like shame. Everything's dead in there. Time has stopped. It's trapped. There's time accumulated. Winters and winters of leaves trapped inside of these trees. And I have to pull them out and break them up. That's always how it is. There's always a riddle to find and discover and untangle. There's always a story to find your way through. There's always a mess. There's always a puzzle. It makes me think of knots. Knots and shoelaces that have gotten wet and then dried and gotten hard. And my brothers and sisters need me to get this knot out, and the bus is coming, and I'm trying to get the knot out until I can't stand it. I can't get the knot, and I have to use my teeth. I can't use my teeth anymore because I grew up, and now I know that you'll chip your tooth. And getting a knot out with your teeth is a really embarrassing way to chip your tooth. So many knots, so many puzzles, yo-yos with knots in them. Lots and lots of knots and yo-yo strings. Hair with gum in it. On a little kid, gum and right up to the scalp. So much time with peanut butter and combs getting it out. Those little big wheel cars, you could back up and let go, only they backed up on their arm and it went into their hair and all their hair twisted up tight. So much time getting that out. My hair after a hayride, completely knotted, matted, working my way out, working all the knots out until I can run my fingers through it again. That's how it's been. So many knots, so many puzzles, labyrinths that you find your way through by dismantling them as you go, but very carefully so the walls don't fall on you. Landscapes of dishes, so many dishes that you work your way through. Impossible tasks, like finding strawberries in snow and spinning straw into gold. Laundry, mounds and mounds and mountains of laundry. You can't spin it into gold. Once when I was in elementary school, I wore a ring to school, and I went to take it off because I was bored, and it wouldn't come off. And I started to think about my finger trapped inside of that ring. And I kept trying to get it off, twisting it. So I went to my teacher and told her, I can't get my ring off. And so she sent me to the nurse's office. And the nurse couldn't get it off. So she took me to the lunch ladies, who set me up on a counter, and they put butter on my finger, and they put dish soap on my finger. They couldn't get it off, and they ran hot water on my finger. My finger started to turn red and purple. Then some delivery guys came, and they said that we should wrap string around my finger all the way underneath the ring, very, very tight, and the ring would come off, but it didn't. Instead, my finger started to swell. So they got ice and they put on my finger. My finger started to swell more and hurt a lot. So finally they called my mom, who had to have the neighbor watch 10 of the little kids and borrow her car and drive to the school and get me, and then drive me home to the garage where she put my finger on the workbench and sawed the ring off with a hacksaw and told me that everyone at my school were idiots. And that why didn't I just wait until I got home? What was going to happen if the ring didn't come off? I wasn't going to die. It wasn't going to get any smaller. But it felt like I was going to die if I didn't get it off. It felt like something that would happen in a fairy tale.